beautiful. I have this beautiful, hard-hitting new spread that really digs down deep. It hits to the heart of the matter. It's called Unmasking the Triggers. So this is going to be one of the new ones that I bring into the rotation for the collective. So as always, take what resonates and what doesn't, leave it alone. If you would like to book this session, try it out for yourself, and gain some support and guidance along your journey, please reach out to me, or you can just send me the keyword unmasking the triggers. All right, let's find out what is going on. The first question for this is, what is the underlying emotion that is causing you to be triggered? So with whatever's currently being triggered for you in the collective, the Chariot. So the underlying emotion and pattern that's being triggered here is going to be one of either ways. Either it's going to be about the speed, okay? So either things are happening too fast or not fast enough. I think we've all kind of been in this at one point or another in many different ways, right? Either something's happening too fast for us and we're like, oh my goodness, can you slow down? I need to catch my breath. This is too much. Or it's the other way, and this is often the side that I fall on, is that things aren't happening fast enough or on our timeline or how we think that they're supposed to be happening. And this can be a really, really big trigger. It can make us feel like something's not working, that it's not right. And this, I think, more than anything, triggers a lot of self-sabotaging behaviors where we abandon things too early and we don't stick it out, or transversely, we spend too much time investing and then we don't know how to get out, and we feel a sense of regret and remorse because we poured all this energy and time, money, whatever we invested into it, and we didn't see that reward, so resentments build up. So we really want to get to the heart of that matter. We really want to dig down and find out what's underneath this trigger of feeling like things are either happening too fast or too slow, because truthfully, the truth of the matter is that things are happening exactly as they're meant to happen. The speed in which they're happening is divine. It's divine timing. As humans, we're stuck in this concept of time because we have it structured out, right? Minutes, hours, days, weeks, years, but time is an illusion. But we often, time has its place, especially with setting goals. It can be a really healthy boundary, but overall, this sense of time can be what holds us back and feeling like we aren't where we're meant to be, or things aren't happening the way that they're supposed to be happening. And when I was at the premiere for the movie that I was in this past weekend, this topic was brought up, and it takes a lot of relaxing, a lot of healing, a lot of surrendering to the divine to understand that you are exactly where you're meant to be, with who you're meant to be with, and experiencing, and like all of those aspects. You're exactly where you're meant to be, and the more you can relax into that, the more you open your perception to understanding and to receiving those communications and those nudges into the right direction. So what is this trigger trying to reveal about the parts of ourselves that we've been avoiding? And we have 10 of Cups here. So the part of yourself that you're trying to avoid, or what's being triggered here, is that you don't feel like you're on your way, or that you're going to be able to attain the thing that is going to make you feel happy, successful, joyous. In whatever way that you define success for yourself, which I really strongly encourage you to take the time to define success for yourself. But whatever that is and how you define that, you have a sense of disbelief that you're actually going to get there, right? You feel like whether things are going too fast or too slow, that ultimately, whatever that speed is, you're not getting to where you want to be. And ultimately this is an illusion, because again, you're always where you're meant to be, and you will get to where you're designed to be, but you have to be here in the present, experiencing what you're experiencing, growing, learning, shifting, healing, hurting even, to gain the wisdom and the knowledge and the fortitude in order to be prepared to fully be able to hold your blessings. And this has been a really big one for me the past couple of years, especially in connection with my masculine, because we've had to undergo so many trials and tribulations, and it's hard to move through all of those things while holding out those dreams on your heart, and the hope, and knowing that you are experiencing all of these things to prepare you, right? Because ultimately that's what it is. And you've been avoiding allowing yourself to fully embody the energy and those lessons to actually get to the place that you deem a success, right? So it's sitting in this sense of like wasting your own time, and it feels like you're being asked to sit with this. So if there is stagnancy that you're feeling, or a pause, perhaps there is a reason that you are being put on timeout. Even today, all of a sudden, all of the communication across all of my platforms, my messages, my phone calls, all of a sudden just dropped off, dead. There's no incoming anything, and I'm just like, this is very weird. But I recognized it, that it was an invitation to stop and pause, redirect, and to say, okay, what am I avoiding? So ask yourself, what part of yourself are you avoiding in connection to this dream and your sense of disbelief in its unfolding the way that it's designed to be? Next question is, how can we shift perspective to better understand or integrate this shadow aspect? And we have the Knight of Swords coming out here. So this is, again, kind of that cutting through to the heart of the matter and being decisive in your own energy, and not so much doubling down, but again, and this is a theme that kind of keeps coming up if you've been following along with the collective readings lately, is this being committed to the thing that you are trying to create. It's taking that strength and that energy and that clarity and that drive within yourself to take action. And sometimes action isn't material. Sometimes that action is something internal, like cutting out these thoughts, patterns, beliefs, and like the self-sabotaging and the beliefs that you tell yourself, and those narratives that are actually holding you back. That itself, taking the time to heal and move through that, is an actionable energy. It's internalized, but ultimately that energy within yourself will be mirrored. So it sounds like you're being invited in this pause, in this space, to take a look at what you're planning and what you're working towards, and seeing how these thoughts, patterns, beliefs are not in alignment with that. Our next question is, what experiences or beliefs are feeding into this trigger? High Priestess, you're not listening to your own intuition. Ouch. But I will caution you, at this time we are in an eclipse season, so it's going to be very challenging to know what to trust, even within your own intuition. But the best way to know if it is your intuition or your triggers and your trauma that's talking, intuition whispers and it says it once, one and done. But your trauma, it will repeat, and it will nag you, and it will nag you, and it will spin out, and it will create these narratives and these situations. And it, like, if it starts to do that, just be like, not today, Satan. Because literally, that's all. That's the only difference. It's your ego trying to keep you safe. but your intuition will be quiet. It will be still. So if you're being invited into this pause, lean into your intuition. Get into a state of embodiment. You know what I'm going to say? Empowered embodiment. Go dance it out. Do that meditative dance. Move that energy within yourself. Work through those narratives and get to the bottom of it so that you can get back to a place where you are trusting your intuition and you can make strong intuitive moves that are truly in alignment with who you are and your core. Throat chakra is going kind of crazy. So it's going to have to do with things that you are telling yourself. How can we transmute this trigger into growth and healing? 5 of Swords. And I love the quote that's on this, because it's sometimes the victory is not worth the price. So it goes back to that investment. Are you using your energy to worry? I am so bad for this. Don't worry. I'm calling myself out so hard today. Are you using your energy to worry? Or are you using it to create the life that you want to create? It can be really hard when you get into that disempowering spiral, right? And that's why, again, I love dance movement therapy, because it allows you to take that anxious energy. Also, go clean your house. Best thing you can do for yourself, because it will clearing your environment, getting that energy out, all that stagnancy, getting, the dirt and the debris and everything up, will help your mental state become more clear. Either one, go do them. But doing that will help you move through the anxiety, the self-sabotaging, because right now that's where your energy is. And in order for you to heal and transmute it, you need to consciously take it and put it into something more constructive, to put that in the place where you're going to see that return of your investment. And I've been saying this a lot in private readings today. You need to pull that energy back from all of the places and spaces where it is not serving you, and to pour it fully into the thing that you want to, that you're trying to commit to. All of that worry energy is energy that you could be using to find or create the solutions that you need to go from this step to the next one. Yes, I will. And thank you for joining live, by the way. And it's ultimately going to be what serves you, because when you take all of that energy, instead of having all the pans and all the fires, and you consolidate it, that energy is going to be able to multiply faster. One of the things that my ex-husband will say all the time to me is, why are you putting all your eggs in one basket? And I have to laugh and let it go, because he can't comprehend why I've been investing so hard, so long, consistently committed to the things that I am in my life, because he doesn't see the return, right? But you have to have this long-term perspective. You can't be so focused on that immediate gratification. Immediate gratification is the ego. It is a lower vibration. It is not enlightenment. The journey to enlightenment, the journey to success, to being in that state of embodiment and equilibrium, it's a long-term thing, and it is something that you need to maintain. It's something that you have to constantly be pouring into. But when your energy is everywhere, there's not going to be enough allocated to where you need it to be. And as life grows and shifts and changes, you have the power to grow, shift, and change how much you're pouring into different areas as needed. If the season of life is asking you to pour more into your family, or into your career, or into your partnership, or if one of those areas is suffering because too much energy is going to another area, perhaps it's time to pull back, reassess, and analyze why you feel like you're not getting to where you want to be, because it may have to do with the fact that there is not enough energy allocated to it. So our last question is, what strength or wisdom is hidden within the shadow, and how can we reclaim it, or how can we use this to be more self-aware? Wow. Tower card. So hopefully you heard what you needed to hear today, because when Tower card comes up, it's usually like within the next 24 to 48 hours, expect a shift to happen. Tower moments aren't always big scary things, but they are generally uncomfortable because growth is uncomfortable. And there's something unexpected here. And this could be something good unexpected, right? Let's take, for instance, like my divine masculine, he made a comment a couple weeks ago, like, if I just show up tomorrow and said, hey, I'm moving in, you would freak out, right? It's something you want, but you would freak out because it would require adjustments throughout your life to accept that reality, right? So even the thing that you're asking for, even if you receive it, that can be a Tower moment, because it requires you to take this unexpected change of things and to shift your energy in your life to better allocate and balance and to work towards what you feel is success. Because there's that quote that goes, don't just pray for what you want, but pray for the wisdom to maintain and expand it. And that's feminine energy. It's one thing to receive it, but you also have to know how to nourish it and expand it. And that is going to require you to focus on that feminine healing. So let's get one more piece of guidance or advice for you before we close out. Two of Wands, believe in your personal power. If it was put on your heart, you're meant to do it. You're meant to create it. And it may just require you to take a different approach than either you have in the past or that a different approach that others have taken. It's time to define it for yourself and to get clear and to put that energy into the place which will allow you to take actionable steps and to settle into that energy and have that balance of equilibrium inside of yourself between that masculine and feminine, the light and the shadow, and integrating these parts of yourself and not seeing them as something that's bad, but just something that you need to develop a relationship with and to understand how it works for you rather than working against you. So I hope this was insightful. I hope you heard what you needed to hear. If you have comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to leave a comment. And if you would like to book a personal reading, reach out to me.